So we have a lot of inside linebackers to look at for the NFL this year. The talent is insane, so we might as well start with Lavonte David, the inside linebacker of the Tampa Bay Bucks. Um, he is a future Hall of Famer, no doubt. Um, the fact that his play is crucial to this team, based on his age, he's still a big part of this defense, and he's what makes this defense roll all the time. He's done it since he got in the league, and he continues to do it now. So um, it is amazing to see what he's been able to do and the elite level that he's been able to do it for so long. Um, I will say that Lavonte David right now, 33 years old, 11 years in the league, 1 year, $4.5 million deal for him. I do believe that he will eventually go to a team that's more of a contender and try to get another Super Bowl. It was nice for him to get one with the team that drafted him and really make it, so he sacrificed all those years to continuously play and finally have the gift of getting a Tom Brady on the team to win a Super Bowl eventually. So um, Lavonte David, 17 games played and started, 5 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 3 sacks, 124 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits. In the playoffs, lost to the Cowboys in wild card. That one game, he had 14 tackles and 1 QB hit. He is an absolute monster. He's a tackling machine. He does a little bit of everything. He still does it effectively, and I'm excited to see what he does this year. I know that he's definitely slowing down with age, but he's still an effective player, and I know that he's going to be great for a long time. So Lavonte David's got like 2 more years in him, and we'll see what happens with him. So I'm excited to see what he does this year as he ages at 33 years old. Next up on honorable mentions, we got a young stud in Jordyn Brooks, who's going to be pairing up with Bobby Wagner this season, and it's going to be entertaining to watch, man, to say the least. Jordyn Brooks was mentored by Bobby before he left, and now he's coming back and playing with this guy. Jordyn Brooks doesn't get enough credit, but I mean, this guy is everything. He is everything that you want out of a linebacker. He's a tackling machine, and he is pretty much Bobby, young Bobby, another version of Bobby, and he gets it done from every level. So I think he's an underrated inside linebacker, and he's going to be a new version of Bobby that we'll see, and he's going to be very impactful for Seattle for a long time. And they need to sign him. They need to make sure they sign him a big deal. Jordyn Brooks, 25 years old, 3 years in the league, 1 year, $2.27 million, 16 games played and started, 5 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 1 sack, 161 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits. Again, impactful player. Need him. They need to sign him big time, and I can't wait to see what he does this year. I think he's still a tackling machine. He's going to get 150 tackles up in there. So, I mean, I'm expecting a lot from him, and I hope to see more of him and his impact, especially with the Seattle defense. Next, we got a veteran leadership over here for the New York Jets, a guy that continues to produce at a high level in his career. Started off as a Raven and was amazing. Didn't get the deal he wanted. I think that's a huge thing that we missed out on. I mean, it's okay because we do have some pretty great linebackers out there, but I think C.J. Mosley was a big player for us in Baltimore, so it is sad to see him play somewhere else. But C.J. Mosley, huge impact for the New York Jets, veteran leadership, and he should be a top 10 guy. Just inside linebacker, there's a lot of potential out there. There's a lot of great players. C.J. Mosley, 31 years old, 8 years in the league, 2 years, $34 million left in his deal, 17 games played and started for the Jets, 1 interception, 7 pass deflections, 1 fumble recovery, 1 sack, 158 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 3 QB hits. The Jets did not make the playoffs, but he got second team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler. Again, this is a guy that has made himself as a career a great inside linebacker, a great presence, and an overall guy that you want on your team. So C.J. Mosley's impact is amazing, and it will continue to be. I'm excited to see what he does
this year, and I hope that he continues his success. And I think he's got a lot left in the tank, so he's got a lot for the Jets to provide there. Okay, next, it's lame because these highlights are old, so I'm just shocked that they don't have any Eric Kendrick highlights at all. It's really weird, but he is not a Viking anymore. He is a Charger. He did sign a deal with the Chargers, and he's going to impact that defense. I think tremendously, just because he's got leadership, veteran leadership out there, and he's an inside linebacker who balls out, still can ball out. He does get overlooked. A lot of people do see him as a cut and trade kind of guy, and I get it. He's of age that people just want to see him in different teams, or they think he can fit other schemes, and he's just maybe not the same speed, not the same player, but still, from his numbers, from everything I've seen, he's still the same guy. He's still energetic. He's still there. He's still ready to play football at a high level. So you got to give him some props here. Eric Kendricks, 31 years old, 8 years in the league, 2 years, $13.25 million with the LA Chargers. He has a 2024 potential out with a $2.75 million in dead cap for the Chargers. That's not bad at all. 17 games played and started, 6 pass deflections, 1 fumble recovery, 1 sack, 137 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits. In the playoff game for the Vikings against the Giants, he lost. They lost. So one game that he played, he had 1 pass deflection, 1 sack, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit. Had a little bit of everything. He did a little bit of everything, and that's what you want, and that's what Eric Kendrick brings. Again, overrated, underrated, and overlooked. So I still think he's got a lot in the tank, and I can't wait to see what he does in LA. All right, next, underrated player, one of the best tacklers in the game. Great for this Jaguars defense. This Jaguars defense is loaded. I feel like that could do some damage. I mean, they have a veteran slash with a mix of some young talent out here. I do believe they are the king of the South. I do believe they will win the South. I don't think it's a question. Even though the division is weak, I still feel like they're a great team, and I want to see them have a deep playoff run. Um, Oluokun is going to be one of those guys that's going to impact that ability. 28 years old, 5 years in the league. He's got 2 years, $30 million left. 2024 potential out with a 14.5 million in dead cap for Jacksonville. 17 games played and started. 5 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, 184 tackles, which led the league. 12 tackles for loss, 9 QB hits. In the playoffs of 2 games, lost to the Chiefs in the divisional. He had 27 tackles and 2 QB hits. Again, tackling machine. He is going to get after it. He's going to be impactful. And Oluokun is one of those guys that you need in the team. You gotta love the fact that there are multiple people on this Jaguars team that are impactful in the same position. This is where Oluokun meets with Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd is the other linebacker, honorable mention, and is a Jaguar right in the right with an Oluokun. So I think that's very impressive. I think that's super impressive, and that's exciting to see him with Oluokun. I think they are going to have a great year, and they're impactful. You got a game plan for not just one inside linebacker, 2 inside linebackers that can do everything. Devin Lloyd, he's younger, 24 years old, only 1 year in the league. He was a rookie last year. 3 years, $5.64 million in his rookie deal. 17 games played, 15 started, 3 interceptions, 8 pass deflections, 2 fumble recoveries, 115 tackles for 2 QB hits. Playoffs, 2 games, 1 pass deflection, 13 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 QB hits. He's got a lot of potential. He's young, first of all, and he's going to keep growing from his first year rookie to a second sophomore year. I hope that there's no slump. I do want to see him ball out, and I think he will. And I'm excited to see Jacksonville do what they got to do, man. But both of those guys need to be kept, and it's going to be fun seeing what they do this year. And I'm excited to see what he does. The next guy was also in the same draft class as Devin Lloyd, so there have been fantastic linebackers that have come out of this draft this past year, and I'm actually really excited to see their development, just because I know that they have a lot of development in them, and I think they do have the ability to be superstars. They have the ability to be in top 10. I do believe Devin Lloyd can be a top 10 inside linebacker in the league. I also believe Quay Walker can definitely be a top 10 inside linebacker in the league. Just his uniqueness of being powerful, being strong, being fast, having that, pretty much having what they have now, which is a Patrick Queen aspect of having speed with power and having all the intangibles of doing a little bit of everything. And Quay Walker does that exceptionally well. Green Bay's got a keeper. They definitely have a star on their hands, and they got to make sure that they keep this guy for a long-term process. 23 years old, 1 year in the league, 3 years, $5.88 million, 17 games played, 16 started, 7 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 1.5 sacks, 121 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 4 QB hits. Again, no playoffs, but he's going to have plenty of chance to do that. I think he will have all pros, and I think he'll be Pro Bowl material. So overall, Quay Walker is a very, very fun player to watch, and we got to see more of him. I'm excited to see more of him, and I'm excited to see him and Devin Lloyd progress and grow as football players, as human beings, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job. So Quay Walker, good on him. He's finally here, but so early here, so I'm excited to see what he does. Next, we do have a guy that's definitely through the years of being in the league, has gotten better, and it's nice to see that, an increase in potential and increase of play and more starting time, and he's worked hard for it. He's worked his ass off, and I'm excited to see what he's been able to do. He's definitely been a big leader for the Detroit Lions, this rebuilding young team that honestly has what it takes to possibly make a division title run, but also, I mean, they can make some deep playoff runs. I mean, depending on how it goes, the personnel, and how they continue to grow as a football team. Alex Anzalone is one of those guys that you need to have. 28 years old, 6 years in the league, 3 years, $18.3 million with a 2025 potential out of $2.4 million in dead cap. 17 games played and started, 1 interception, 6 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 1.5 sacks, 125 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 7 QB hits. No playoffs, but he's going to be in the playoffs. He's going to be big time. He's finally found a home that has definitely accepted him, and it's nice to see Alex Anzalone have so much success. Next, we got actually a dark horse, man, a guy that not many people know about, not many people would actually read about into, or actually see that he's actually been benefiting this Denver Broncos team, or just in general league. It's Jewell um, for the Denver Broncos. I mean, his play style may not be eye popping, it may not be the flashiest, it may not be the best, the sexiest, but Jewell gets it done every single Sunday, and he's had great numbers this year. He should be a starting linebacker in this league. He should be a starting linebacker for Denver. He is a leader on this team, and I think he'll provide that. And I'm excited to see what he does. Jewell, 28 years old, 5 years in the league, 1 year, $5 million on his deal. 13 games played and started, 2 interceptions, 4 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 2.5 sacks, 128 tackles for 7 tackles for loss, and 4 QB hits. Can't get better than that. Jewell is one of those guys that if he stayed healthy more, you're talking about 4 more games that he could have probably put up 150, maybe 160 to 170 tackles in a year, and then we can debate where is he at in the top 10. He's relevant. He's still honorable mention, but I mean he was lightning. He's playing lights out last year, and you got to give him his credit. You got to give him what it's due, and he's impactful for Denver. This guy, it's another highlight that's weird. I couldn't really find the highlight that I wanted per se from last year. So I mean, we're gonna stick with some mic'd up stuff. We're gonna stick up with some one game kind of action highlights. I mean, there's some older videos, unfortunately. I tried my best, but this is what I came up with. Shaq Thompson is one of those guys that you need to look out for. He is an impact player for the Carolina Panthers. He's definitely overlooked. I think He's got some things left in the tank. I feel like they should definitely invest in maybe getting a better linebacker. Shaq Thompson is good. He is good. I don't know if he'll be, as important to Carolina as some of these other guys, but he's still honorable mention. He's still, respected. He should still be respected. He's balled out this year. 29 years old, 8 years in the league, 2 years, $12.6 million, 17 games played and started, 4 pass deflections, 1 fumble recovery, half a sack, 135 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits. I mean, those are numbers that are not scrub, and he's had a great year. I am very excited for him, and I want to see what he does this year. I think he can still impact the game, and I think he can still be really important for Carolina moving forward. Our last guy on the honorable mentions is going to be Frankie Luvu. Um, Luvu has been tremendous. Definitely young guy. He's definitely played, in the league. He's been here for a while, but he's still got a lot to prove. I feel like he's got a lot to prove. He wants to be known as an inside linebacker force, and I could see him being a top 10 inside linebacker, if he continues to do what he does, continues to progress, continues to be a full time starter, and, become that guy that everyone knows he can be. Hard hitting linebacker, definitely has a motor on him. He may not be the quickest, but he'll get there. I like Frankie Luvu a lot, especially him with Shaq Thompson in Carolina. It's pretty deadly, man. It's pretty deadly. Um, Frankie Luvu is only 26 years old, 5 years in the league, 1 year, $4 million left in his deal. I believe that's possibly his rookie deal. 15 games played and 14 started. 1 interception for 33 yards and a touchdown. 4 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 7 sacks, 111 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, 9 QB hits. No accolades, but he's going to be up there. I think he can make all pros. I think he can be a Pro Bowler. And quite frankly, I think he can be a top 10 member of this list next year. He just needs to continuously impress and continue to work on his craft. And I really do like Frankie Luvu, special talent, and I'm excited to see what he does this year.